One of the things that I think is most upsetting is the kind of sexual abuse that happened here. So in the governor's bedroom leads through some ladders directly down into the women's dungeon. One of them would be selected, washed, and then he would rape her, and he would just have free access to these women and girls.
I'm sure there were little boys who were subjected to the same.
Yeah.
Imagine standing in a dark underground dungeon, no light, no fresh air, hundreds of people chained together. Now imagine something even more disturbing. Directly above this dungeon, there was a church. And when Hollywood legend Samuel L. Jackson visited the slave castles in Ghana, learning this truth made him visibly angry.
This is where people who were enslaved were held until it was time for them to be shipped out. This is the door of no return.
It's almost like the capital of it.
The memories and images of the trafficked million remain largely unknown, yet one artist is working to bring that forgotten history to light.
And he professed it. Because what happened inside this castle reveals one of the most painful contradictions in human history. Take your time, relax a little bit, and stay with me, because what you're going to hear is going to blow your mind, and probably, maybe it is also going to twist your mood a little bit into probably getting angry like the legend Samuel L. Jackson. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, make it a point to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and go to the comment section. Let me know what you think about this very conversation. To my new viewers, like, hit subscribe, and then share. To my returnees, subscribe, like, and share. And to my subscribers, I salute you. Thank you so much for always being here for me. Let's get straight into the conversation. In 2019, during Ghana's historic Year of Return initiative, many African Americans traveled to reconnect with their roots. One of those visitors was Samuel L. Jackson. If you don't know him, he is a legend in the Hollywood. He's made a lot of movies, one of the best, and very creative and very, very powerful at his craft. Like thousands of others in the African diaspora, Jackson wanted to see the places where millions of Africans were held before being shipped across the Atlantic, but nothing prepared him for what he learned inside the castles. As tour guides explained the conditions inside the slave dungeons, Jackson reportedly became emotional and angry, and he said something like, "This is the capital of it all." When he heard about what happened to African women inside those walls, the anger was impossible to hide.
The Portuguese came first, but after that, almost every European power tried to get their hands on Elmina at one point because it was a strategic location.
Right.
By the 1700s, the slave trade was the main business going on. So one of the things that most strikes me, Sam, about coming in here is that building.
This part right here.
Yeah, this square bit in the middle. That is a church.
Is this the Protestant church or the Catholic
Well,
church?
initially it was a Catholic church, but when the British took it over, they continued to use it as a Protestant church. All of these Europeans thought that it was compatible to conduct this absolutely horrific trade in the dungeons of this building. And at the same time, these guys were going into church and saying their prayers every day. One of the things that I think is most upsetting is the kind of sexual abuse that happened here. So in the governor's bedroom, there's a trapdoor in the floor, and it leads through some ladders directly down into the women's dungeon. One of them would be selected and brought straight up to the officer's bedroom, washed, because they were kept in a state of filth down there. And then he would rape her, and he would just have free access to these women and girls.
I'm sure there were little boys who were subjected to the same.
Yeah.
Inside the castles were underground dungeons. Men and women were separated into different chambers. These spaces were dark, overcrowded, and filthy. Some dungeons held 200 to 300 people at a time. They could remain there for weeks or months before shipping. Many never survived. But what shocked Samuel L. Jackson the most was what existed above these dungeons. Directly above these dungeons were Christian chapels.
This is Christian's Ball Castle here in Osu, Accra. On top of this castle was a church, while underneath it was a slave dungeon. So while captives were underneath this castle crying for help, the masters who captured them were upstairs praising their God for job well done. You get to the point now. Listen, before you teach your children religion, make sure you teach them history first. You get to the point now. You cannot truly know your God if you don't understand your history.
European slave trade selected women from the dungeons. The women would be forced to wash and prepare themselves before being taken to the living quarters of European officers. These encounters were not consensual.
One of the things that I think is most upsetting is the kind of sexual abuse that happened here. So in the governor's bedroom, there's a trapdoor in the floor, and it leads through some ladders directly down into the women's dungeon. One of them would be selected and brought straight up to the officer's bedroom, washed, because they were kept in a state of filth down there. And then he would rape her, and he would just have free access to these women and girls.
I'm sure there were little boys who were subjected to the same.
Yeah.
They were acts of sexual violence against enslaved women who had no power to refuse. For many visitors to the slave castles today, learning this part of the story is deeply emotional because it reveals that slavery was not only about forced labor, it also involved systemic abuse of African bodies and dignity. Samuel L. Jackson's reaction represents something larger. For many members of the African diaspora, visiting these castles is a powerful and a painful experience. It connects modern generations to a traumatic past. Standing in these dungeons forces visitors to confront the reality that millions of ancestors passed through those same spaces. The emotional connection explains why reactions like Jackson's are common. Many visitors cry, some became silent, others expressed anger because the history inside the castles, the slave castles, is not just.
The memories and images of the trafficked millions remain largely unknown. Yet one artist is working to bring that forgotten history to light with a project that remembers the ancestors while paying homage to their descendants.
Hello, Mr. Jackson.
Sam, man.
Oh, good.
So let's look at what you got.
Okay.
Are these just dormant out like this?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's concrete actually. And so far, like our people, very resilient.
Alright.
Each person, each sculpture has a story.
So this is the story of people who were on those ships.
Yeah. So right ahead, this is the enslaved African section. In total, I'm hoping to have 11,111 figures.
How many are you?
Currently, we have about close to 1,500.
Wow.
Traditionally, in African art and African religion, the head represents everything, your soul, your being. It has your eyes. And you can have all the expressions. And it is considered the seat of your soul. So in the faces, you can see the identity. You can see that these people were actually living beings and you can relate to them. And it's that I'm trying to capture.
So who are these faces?
Well, these are faces of actual people that I meet, that I find interesting, people that I'm hoping look like their ancestors who were captured and enslaved from the motherland of Africa. I'm trying to have as many faces as possible. Hopefully you can see your uncle in there, you can see your kid brother, and then you can also see your mother.
Yeah, it's crazy because I can just look in just one section right here and I can identify people that I know.
painful because it's about these people that have become insignificant over the years. And that is exactly why I'm doing this, trying to get a piece of all of these people back.
History is not always comfortable. Sometimes it makes us angry. Sometimes it makes us emotional. But places like the Cape Coast Castle, the Elmina Castle, and the Osu Christianborg Castle exist to remind the world of what happened and why it must never be repeated. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I'm really grateful. Remember to hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video, go to the comment section and let me know what you think about this very conversation. This was Inside Studios Network. I'm gone.